Hello, everyone. This is Annette Stanton. I hope you're having a fabulous day. I thought I'd come and share with you something that has been a conversation that has occurred in many of my coaching sessions, and also I've been through this myself. So, when you go through different phases and stages of your own life and your career, and you get to a stage where you go, who am I really? Big question, isn't it? And what is my purpose in life? Yeah. What is that? What am I meant to be doing whilst on this planet? Have you ever asked yourself that? Or have you ever felt like you're in this transition and, what's been working for you in the past no longer works for you? I certainly have been on a number of occasions, but I've learnt a lot of lessons along the way in regard to that. Number one lesson that I realised is to listen into it and don't fight it, because what I used to do is to make it wrong. And I noticed that the more I made it wrong, the more I wasn't listening into the lessons that I was meant to be learning. And as for an example, I went through an evolving phase in my career life, and my business world had really transitioned, and I was in a state of where I didn't feel connected with what I was doing as much as what I used to. I still knew I loved it, but there was something missing and I couldn't pinpoint what it was. And the more I looked for it, the more I felt like I was driving myself crazy trying to find what my purpose was and what was going to be purposeful for me, and also moving forward, what goals. So I felt like my head was just spinning trying to work it out. It was from here up. Yeah, can you relate to that, where you just, you can't even sleep in the middle of the night and you wake up and you're just spinning. Your head's just trying to work it out, where to from here. And that's very normal. That's one of the things, because that's one of my clients say to me often, so you mean this is normal, other people go through this? Yes, we all do at different stages. The thing is, we just don't talk about it, okay? And it is very natural and normal when it comes to the evolving you. And sometimes it feels like the dark night of the soul, okay, where you really don't know what your next obvious steps are. And for me, I felt like there was a part of me that was dying inside. And I realize now that my old beliefs were being very challenged, and that I needed to listen in and get honest with my, intuitive, evolving self that was trying to come forward and trying to get my attention. So when life at times feels like it's not working, it's trying to get your attention. Yeah. And the more I fought it and made it wrong, and the more I was really hard on myself about that, saying things like, oh, well, this isn't the real me because I'm a strong, professional businesswoman and I should be out there and da-da-da-da-da. When deep down inside, it was like, yeah, been there, done that, didn't feel like it was calling me now. Pretty scary place to be in. It was very vulnerable. And then I realised that to sit inside that vulnerability, the more I allowed myself to be with it, and yes, allow the tears, allow the uncertainty, don't make it wrong, then one breadcrumb at a time, I started to listen in to the inner knowing. The instinctual, intuitive voice came forward that I used to second guess, I used to push aside, rationalize with, that sort of thing. And it then makes it a lot harder for you to listen to the inner voice and the inner wisdom that's trying to bring forward the inspirational vision and the here and now next steps, what I like to call your inspired next step, right now, right now. Because a lot of the time, especially being a visionary, I can relate to this. A lot of the time, high achievers are very much visionary type people and personality styles, and they're aiming for something higher than themselves, which is brilliant. But then at the same time, you've got to notice whether you're having out-of-body experiences of trying to get ahead without being here first. Right. So then it can cause a lot of stress and it can cause a lot of adrenaline, and running on that adrenaline, which we call, motivation, whereby we might be missing the link of inspirational action with the inspired vision that takes you higher than, which it's a global astronomical vision that goes way beyond what you might be naturally normally guiding. For example, let me give you an example. So I would have a vision, yeah, and then I'd have my goals, and then I would have a strategic plan that was coming from, my inner knowing, yes, creative planning, and the logic mind on these are the steps that I need to take. But then I was so rigid in that arena that I never captured the flexibility of what, a side door opening. Do I need to have a look at that? Yeah, because I was so fixated on this is where I'm going, head down, bum up scenario. And yes, achieved a lot. Fabulous. Woohoo. Okay. But was I fulfilled at the end of the day? Was I feeling this contentment? Was I feeling like it was, satisfying and an enoughness from within myself? So then when I didn't feel like that, I would aim higher. Let's go bigger. Let's go grander. And yes, would achieve that. But it got to the stage where it wasn't working anymore. And I was sick and tired of not feeling purposeful and fulfilled from inside out. So this is what I'm talking about when it comes to really honouring your true self, really listening into the evolving phases and stages. And that's where it might feel like you're going through the, this void of unknown. And I'm here to tell you that when you're sitting inside that, to feel, instead of trying to fill the space by looking for what it is that I'm meant to be doing, okay, filling it up with lots of actions, making a to-do list, yeah, instead of filling the space, start to feel the space and go inward to listen in. Sure, you can write down your intuitive knowing and what's coming through you at this time, but ultimately you want to get conscious to life right now. What's coming your way, because that's your indicator of whether it serves and honors your true values or not. Okay? So as you get really, really conscious, then you'll start to tap into your own evolving stages, what you do and don't want to do, yeah, what serves and honors who you are now. Because a lot of the times, and I've been there myself and I've spoken to many a client about this, it's easier to step back into what you know, right? And it takes a lot of courage to step into the unknown whilst trusting your intuitive knowing. When you trust the intuitive knowing and staying inside the unknown, what occurs is you will start to meet the evolving you, the true you, and you'll hear the creative wisdom coming forward. You will get to hear and feel and sense with every fibre of your being your next inspired step. You will feel and resonate with the deep knowing that this is the right path for me. Yeah. And then as you follow that and trust that, without all the, listening into the distractions or the opinions or the voices of external, inputs, including your own ego mind trying to get you to come back into what it is you know. Ultimately, your inspirational vision will open up and you will sit inside of that. But it's one breadcrumb at a time, one step at a time, lots and lots and lots of breathing, self-care, trusting the next step, even if it feels fearful yet exciting at the same time. Letting go of results, letting go of deadlines, no more being dead at the line. You will know your own divine time. There will be a time frame of your divine time. You will know that. And you will know the extension of that. So this is a subject that I know I've lived and breathed and I've been through personally on a number of occasions as I've gone through many different spiritual awakenings to continue to go to new heights in elevating my higher self, to step into my higher vision, okay? And if that's something that you're interested in, to finding out more about how to elevate your higher self into your inspirational vision and gain conscious awareness around that and the courage to actually move forward into that. If that's something that you're interested, I'd love to have a conversation with you. Share anything that you might have had insights around, any tips that you have developed along the way of your inspiring journey. And if you would like to have a conversation with me further, one-on-one, I'm happy to have a discovery session with you. Please feel free to contact me. Enjoy the journey you are on. My name's Annette Stanton. Thanks for tuning in, and bye for now. Bye-bye.